Look who we have to visit with us today.
Mhm.
And Ankit just popped in. What a
Good
great
evening.
timing. This is couldn't be better. How are you doing, Penny?
Yes. This is
So
our Indian culture.
the
Good
Indian
evening
Yes,
to everybody.
is
yes. We're
Yeah.
we're we're diving into India today, so help us understand what's going on.
Indian, not only Indian, as well as a Vaidya and a traditional Vaidya, we always prefer to be this and this. This. Yeah.
well, it's safer, right?
Right.
You don't spread disease. This is what I tell people. If we really look back in history and look
You
at
are.
the fashions and the way they did things, it was probably designed to protect them more than it was a culture status. It was, people turned it into that so that you would do it, right? Sometimes you got to trick people into doing the right things. So, the big wide skirts, oh, it makes your waist look tinier, but it kept you 6 feet away from everybody, right?
And long white gloves.
Long white gloves, right?
So
Oh,
explain to me what the hair had to do with it, though.
the big hair. Well, I haven't quite figured that one out yet.
I haven't.
But the veils, in other
Oh
countries
yeah, veils,
was
sure.
probably truly designed to protect the women from all of the diseases like leprosy and other viruses that came and went over the years. It was truly designed to protect a woman because the woman was the childbearer, right? The woman was, as Ankit always says, the woman is the one who bears life. And so they respect her very, very much in their country. Um, so I think that these fashion things that maybe became a religious way of doing things was truly intended to protect them more than it was these things. But they use these other things to make people, encourage people, and inspire people to wear them. So, but
Well,
yeah,
the people that did it survived. The people that did those things survived and were able to have to breed and have progeny. So the other ones that were scofflaws didn't survive.
Right. So, what are your thoughts, Ankit?
So I believe that we already have Dr. Pandey with us, but as far as what's going on, so people are going back to the natural way of living, and they are, they are ready to adapt to whatever their ancestors were doing, planting their own trees and planting their own fruits and all this stuff, and making sure that they are not, they are protecting the environment now, and they are not maybe taking care of the carbon and all those stuff, and that's why I had a question for Dr. Pandey that is Ayurveda a treatment or a lifestyle which we can adapt at this point of time?
That's a good question.
Yeah. Now, to start with, when you say Ayurveda, it's a combination of two words.
Yeah,
Ayu means life,
yeah,
and Veda is science. So Ayurveda is a science of life,
okay,
which deals with every aspects, and also spiritual, mental, physical, natural, holistic, all together. It's the definition of Ayurveda in Sanskrit is written is Hita Hitam Sukham Dukkham. Hita, which is good, which is bad, ahitam. Sukham, which is happiness, and which is dukkham, sorrow. Hitahitam Sukham Dukkham, Ayus Tasya Hitahitam. That which adds to the longevity, and that which causes you problem in your health. Tasya Hitahitam. Manam cha tatcha etroktam. Manam is the magnitude or the quality or the ways, methods, do's and don'ts are explained in which science? That is Ayurveda. So it is called Ayurveda. Ayur Yasmin Vindati iti Ayurveda. Ayurveda is the science of life, which explains the all various multiple factors and angles of the health that causes physical, mental, spiritual, social, everything in like that. And not only that, the first thing, a basic thing, what we I'll tell you is every living world in this world, living and non-living things, is made up of five elements. You all
Right.
agree this?
yeah,
Panchabhutas, five elements. That is Prithvi,
Okay, share with us.
Prithvi,
Well,
earth,
Earth.
and
Yeah.
Jala, water, fire, Agni,
Yes.
and Akasha, hollow space, and Vayu, the air.
Yeah.
These 5 things. These are the basic composition of every living and non-living things. I'm just getting into just basic these things. You should understand why I'll go into further this, because when you say the, health, our body is made up of dosha, dhatu, mala, moolam, hi shariram. 3 doshas: vata, pitta, kapha. You all know it. And dhatus, 7 dhatus, the constituents. That is rasa, that is chyle. Rakta is blood. Mamsa is the muscles. Medas is the fat. Asthi is the bone. Majja is marrow. And shukra is the semen. These 7 dhatus. 3 doshas, dhatus. Dosha, dhatu, mala, moolam, and the excretes. Excretes are the feces, urine, sweat, and any waste material coming out of our outlets, our ears, nose, eyes, everything. It all comes as malas, excretes. So dosha, dhatu, mala, moolam, hi shariram. So your body will be balanced when these things are in balance. If you have excess of loose motions, that is a disease, that is diarrhea. If you have got constipation, that is again lack of things, the jali amsha, jalabhuta, like that. So these are the things which are similar in our body as well as in the worlds, in the worldly things. So the principle comes here is anything which is less is to be enhanced, and anything which is more should be reduced. That is, we call it as samanyam vriddhi karanam. Samanyam, like suppose if you dehydrated. So in dehydration, what we do in general, you give hydrate, you give glucose, you give saline and all. That is again jalabhuta. Your jaliyamsha, the water content in the body is less, so you are giving the similar thing to add it on. That is the saman principle with it. And if anything is excess, that has to be reduced. Suppose if you have got ascites, excess deposit in your stomach, belly, etc. So that has to be tapped and taken out in surgically or anyway. That is not much practiced in Ayurveda, but I am telling you the facts. So like that. So all the basically the health in the living world depends on these 5 elements and their constitutions. In different permutations and combinations, they are made in your body as well as the living world, like that. So and these dosha, and first you understand the definition of health, which has been also accepted by a WHO very well. That is, they call it as, I'll just tell you one 2-line shloka and I'll explain you. That is, samadosha samagnisha. Samadosha means the balanced state of doshas. Samagni, there are 3 types of agnis. That is, these 7 dhatus in agni, by which the metabolism occurs and it nourishes the further dhatus. Right. So samadhatu, samagnisha, all the 3 agnis, that is dhatu agni, jatara, also have the agni. That is combination occurs. When there is transformation, there is fire. Otherwise, it can't. When there is combustion, then only oxidation, then only it happens. So samadosha, samagnisha, samadhatu, the expressions should be in balance. Prasanna, that is happy state of your prasanna atma, soul, and prasanna atma, indriya manana. Indriya means sense organs, all the 11 sense organs, including mind, and manas, mind. Swastha itya, a person in whom all things are a happy mind, is healthy. There's no other definition for this. These things only you take efforts. You meditation, you meditation, and in incline more is
Okay, we're having a little technical difficulty. And
it's around 1.5 hours before sunrise. That is the time when you should get up. It's very clearly written. Brahme Muhurte. Why is it? Because the energy level is more in that time. You have you noticed when you get up in this Brahma Muhurta, and if you just brush your teeth and get fresh, and you read something, that you will remember always. You will not forget that particular time.
This is true. This is true.
You read the newspaper the first thing in the morning. Yes.
Yes.
So
The
now
mind
these
is
things people,
relaxed and
now people have
fresh.
started realizing and correlating that it is good for them. So they are inclining towards Ayurveda. Otherwise, it was taken as, it's a old tradition. Why to follow these and all that? And now people are getting inclination. Not only Indians, the abroad also, in Western countries also, they are getting adopted to our system like this. So Brahma Muhurta, one should get up early morning, and it's very clear. Shaucha Adikam, you go for excretion and all, get fresh and do brushing. That in olden days they are told, but we are use a datun, that is the stick.
Yeah,
Nowadays, brush
neem stick. No? Neem, I think it was
neem stick,
neem
neem,
plant.
babool.
Yeah. It's a
These things
very
are
bitter plant, but
yeah.
the stick is
But it is
very
antiseptic.
effective. Yeah.
Very good
Very
antiseptic,
good.
anti-inflammatory. It's
Yes.
neem. Even I remember we were also small nowadays. I'm basically from UP.
Yes.
So there, what happens is every 6 months, our grandfather used to make us to drink neem oil, at least 20 ml of neem oil. You should take. That is just, but not only for purgation, but also for deworming. Every 6 months. Yeah.
Wonderful. That's really
So,
nice.
yeah. And even when we go in, they used to, one day in a week there will be a curry or dal made of the same drumstick leaves will be put in that.
Yes.
Drumstick leaves. Why?
Yes.
It is also very good for your stomach.
And
It's
also for diabetes, isn't it? I believe
diabetes.
for diabetes
Also vitamin D. Also vitamin
Yes.
D for your bones. These all.
Right.
So these are very useful things and very harmless and very simple thing which one can follow. If you follow really these things sincerely, definitely you are going to maintain your health well. It's no doubt in that. So it's similarly. So routine of the day. This area. These routines called they
I need that translated for me.
I can't hear it very clearly.
Yes, I know.
Yeah.
It's too bad because he's on a roll. Yeah.
But it's the thoughts are beautiful.
Yes, absolutely. You're hanging on every word, but there's a little technical difficulty.
Can you can you log out and log in again, because I think
that
there's
worked for me.
problem.
That might make it better. Yes.
So, Rakesh, you helped me with I forget the word now, but it translated into heart-leaved moon seed.
Yes.
What was the word
that was the original? He was saying something like Golu or something. The guy who was trying to tell you the herb. I think it was the same gentleman, Mr. Pandey. Yeah,
yes.
and
something really hard.
I googled it and I found out it was heart-leaved moon seed.
So
I
had no idea what he was saying, and and that really helped me. And the other thing that I was interested in is he talked about 5 things, and now the ancient Greeks thought of earth, wind, fire, water, and
yes.
But the other one was outer space. Is that the other one?
Space. The concept of space, the 3 dimensions.
Oh no. So the 5 elements. The 5 elements he mentioned is air, water, fire, earth, and the 5th one is air, water, fire, earth, and what was the 5th one? I forgot.
Akash. Akash meant space.
Okay, Akash. Yeah, Akash. Yeah.
Akash, space. The 3 dimensions of space.
I thought of outer space, but that's not what he meant.
No. It's just the dimensions of space.
Yes.
We're loving your words, Dr. Pandey. We just wanted you to log back in so we can hear you better.
Yes.
Okay. So what happens? For to keep oneself health, Ayurveda deals with many do's and don'ts. They start with the day. From the day, that is called dinacharya, daily routine, what is to be done. And similarly, in every season, the 6 seasons, they are decided divided into 2 months, a couple of months are one season. Shishir, Grishma, Varsha, Sharad, Hemanta, Shishir, Vasant, Grishma, like that. So in those seasons, what are the do's and don'ts? What are the diet and what are the regimen to be followed?
Yes.
These are very well explained. even if you are not able to follow the all 100%, if you follow only 60% of that, that would be enough. What I have seen.
It would be quite good. Yes.
Yeah.
There are certain
like for example,
months. Yes.
I only have 4 seasons where I live.
Yeah, that's all there is, and they have certain rules to follow. Say in a rainy season, they don't want to have excess of storage because it gets spoiled because of moisture. So the very well thought out rules which are into this whole science. Brahma Muhurtam, which is Muhurtam is basically a time. And my mother used to tell me, get up early, and she would wake me up. She bought me a big HMT alarm clock and made me wake up at 4 o'clock. She said, that is Brahma Muhurtam, and you need to get up then and study. And I just listened to her because I was a fairly good boy then. Then, not now.
That's okay. Not only that.
And it helped me in my studies, So
you see,
I totally agree with you. You're spot on there.
Yeah. When you get up in early morning in that Brahma Muhurta, after getting fresh and all, just keep on listening in your CD. Nowadays, you have got CD facilities and all. Put Vishnu Sahasranamam early morning.
Yes.
Or that, or that Gayatri Japam.
Yes.
Om Bhurva Swaha, that soothes you.
Yes.
No, a lot of studies are going on in Germany about this. That when you hear this Gayatri Manda chanting in the proper pronunciation for so many minutes, the waves of your brain are settled.
I believe this.
And your anxiety or stress level comes down. They are not into process. They are not come with conclusion, but many studies are going on that. So similarly, or anything, suppose or anything which suits you.
Anything that suits you.
Well,
it could be a Celtic chant.
Care about this until you get a study, but I believe it right now without the studies. So I think that you're talking about something that is fundamentally true.
Yeah, I will correlate one point. Like nowadays in lockdown, everybody's at home and even studies and classes are going on this online. So what people do is they are very late to get up, or they don't take bath. They're not. But you should not do that. You should follow the same routine, even as you're going to school earlier also. If you do that early morning, if you get fresh and not take bath, and you feel fresh, the whole day is good. Otherwise, you feel very drowsy, hanging over, alasata, jamba, alasyam, gauravam. These things are happening in that.
Gauravam means pride. Jim,
heaviness.
just explain.
That in here, gauravam in Ayurveda, we call it a heaviness in your limbs and body.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. So these are the routine which have been mentioned, like dinacharya, ritucharya, and also ahara, vihara, do's and don'ts. Suppose in ahara also you should take very lagu ahara, not to take very fried foods. And for taking food, there is a rule ki if suppose 50% of your stomach should be filled with the food, and 25% with water. And
the rest
air. For the passage of vayu, 25% should be left free. That is called mitahara. And nowadays, what people do, you prepare Maggie, you prepare pizza, you take stomach full. 80% is filled with that. You don't have space to take water also. So that and all causes two complications. These routines and all.
The pizza is okay for the Italians because they ate it in a certain combination. They ate a certain number of things. It was for the whole family. They had you didn't take the whole pizza. You had one slice for yourself, and you drank it with. You had tea, wine that you drank along with it. All of that had processes. The combination gave, and the climate was suitable for them. The same principles. Their climate, our climate, two different. So when you take pizza and you eat it in India, you're going to have a different reaction to your body compared to if you had, say,
the incompatible
dosha or idlis or whatever.
There are certain rules for the food also. You should not take incompatible food. Incompatible means fish and milk. That is viruddha, incompatible.
But what is the climate for haggis?
Milk.
Is there a climate for haggis or Scrabble? I don't understand.
I don't know about those because
I'm joking, Doctor.
But fish is rots easily, so that is one thing.
If you take fried fish with milk regularly, you're certainly going to have some skin diseases. Even the psoriasis type things happens.
I heard this. My grandmother used to say this.
Atopic
Yes.
dermatitis and all these things happen.
Yeah.
So these we have been
Yes.
experiencing, and these have been explained in our text earlier. Adhyashanam. Adhyashanam is, suppose you are eaten something now, and after 1 hour or 1.5 hours, somebody said, you take this or some tasty thing offered, you are taking it. That is bhuktasya upari bhojanam. You have already taken food and again you are repeating it. But once you take your food, once overloading. Once you take your food, then at least till 3 hours you should not take anything.
Not touch it.
That is a thumb rule, like that. So adhyashanam, viruddhashanam, incompatible food, and mitaharam, the balanced diet. And in balanced diet also, you should not take, suppose you are taking food, whole the item should not be very heavy. And all the rasas, 6 rasas, madhura, amla, lavana, katu, kashaya, tikta. There are 6 rasas, tastes. These are also having their role in the increasing and decreasing the doshas, vata, pitta, kapha. So suppose if you take more kashaya, tikta, madhuraha, kashaya, tikta, pungent, and madhura, sweets. These subsides pitta. And madhura, sweet, amla, sour, and lavana, salt. These subsides vata. But it increases kapha also similarly. So like that, you have to balance that. Rasa, guna, virya, vipaka. These are the 4 more things which has to be kept in mind while you are taking any food or any medicine. Rasa means its taste. And guna is, there are 20 types of guna. Right? Guru is very heavy. Lagu is light. And snigdha is very unctuous. And ruksha is very dry. Similarly, there are 20 types of gunas. The rasa, guna, virya. Virya is that temperament. Shita virya, cold temperament, and hot, ushna virya. And vipaka. That vipaka is dhatvantara pakam. After the digestion, the outcome, while you pass the stools, that time what is the predominance of the rasa during the stool? That is called vipaka. So these 4 things, and these food habits and routine, daily routine, dinacharya, ritucharya, if you follow. Plus another factor is upadha. There are many things, many vegas are the things which has to be retained, and some certain things are not to be retained. They are called unreadable. The vegas are called vegas, which should not be retained. Like this thing, jrimba, shwasa, kshama, shwasa, sneezing, yawning, or tears. These are all vegas which should not be retained. If you retain, it leads to certain complications, certain problems in long term.
Yes.
Not in one. At the same time, there are certain, and the same time there are certain vegas which has to be retained, like kama, krodha, lobha, moha, like anger, and moha, attachment, and this thing, moha, attachment, and kama, lust. These are things which has to be. These are called upadhas. Upadhanam parityaga. These should be left out, and the vega should not be retained.
This part deals with the mental balance, and
it's
very interesting. Yeah,
because
in fact, what you're saying, Dr. Pandey, reminds me so much of what Dr. Sagu was telling us some sessions ago. Very, very similar, very parallel. Very, very interesting. How are you, Dr. Sagu?
Cool.
Yeah, I'm good, Rakesh.
Nice to see you.
Nice to see you guys again.
It's so nice to see you.
Yeah.
So, and see, suppose if your dosha dhatu malamula, when you say the vata, pitta, kapha, the bodily doshas or visheshanas. Similarly, for mind also, sattva, rajas, and tamas. Sattvam, rajas, tamas, chiti, trayo, dosha, samasata. There are 3 doshas of mind, which should be in balance.
Yes.
If that is balanced, sattva guna is more, then you are healthy mind. You are relaxed. Sattvam buddhi. It increases your IQ. And usually sattva guna increases with vegetarian diet only. Mostly. Even in non-veg mansahara also, there are many expressions are there. Like this thing, goat's meat, bakre ka mans. That is explained. It has to be taken. And milk of cow.
I have a theory about this, Dr. Pandey. Just a question, kind of question come theory. I think that in India, we didn't have such extreme climate like, say, Europe or, polar climates. Mm-hmm. So heavy meats like beef, became too heavy for our body to handle. So I think that's the reason why heavy meats are avoided, or the red meats as we call them, are avoided in the Indian subcontinent. And I think this is just my theory. It's just thinking logically about it. And I think
heavy.
Becomes too heavy,
Heavy.
So, and while say, if I were living in northern Germany or Scandinavia, probably, beef is the best meat for me, because I have to burn so much energy to take care of for homeostasis and keep my body warm. That's probably the ideal thing. So it goes with where you're located. And definitely, depending on where your environment is, you would have to adapt. And I think adapting is the key to survival.
The place, Desha and Kala is a factor. Desha means, suppose if you are from hill areas, that is Jangal Desha. And Anup Desha is coastal area. Suppose if a man of coastal area is given medicine or any food of the Jangal Desha, that becomes very light for him. Because he is from Anup Desha. His kapha is more. His Agni will be more. Like that. So Desha factor adds in.
So Dr. Pandey, whenever we treat a patient, do we ask them that where they belong from? Are they from a hill station?
Of course. Okay. When we take the history, any medical thing, we need to take the history. Where do you belong originally? And when the onset started, what are the first symptoms and what are the present symptoms? Exactly that.
So I just want to ask the same question to Dr. Saggu. So Dr. Saggu, welcome to IBM TV. We miss you a lot, and
namaskar.
Suffering from
namaskar. Thank you.
Now you are negative, and so how is your health now, sir? And how is your the process of COVID treatment?
Yeah, I think it was a nice experience for me. It was a good experience, and somehow, with the grace of the God, the virus was so kind to me. So I didn't have much symptoms. Just I had fever and loss of taste and loss of smell for, you can say, few hours, and that was all right. And I spent my isolation of 22 days as a holidays. So I think being a positive is another medicine so that you can be cured of the COVID.
Yes. And the next question is, how important was that turmeric latte and kada during that COVID period?
That I'll be more curious to know that.
Yeah, I would definitely, I would be honest regarding that, we cannot check the virus. We cannot control the infection by the virus. But what we can do is we can prepare our body to fight against the virus.
Exactly.
So what I had started 4 months back, all the vitamins, vitamin B12, vitamin D, vitamin C, I started in January, and 1 hour of exercise or yoga, turmeric, milk along with garlic. So that really helped me a lot during my journey of this COVID-19. And you can say all those things, they helped me to cross this the road of my journey for the COVID-19. So if you can build up immunity, I don't think this virus is lethal for you. This will come and this will go, and you will not know when the virus came and when the virus left you. So I was listening to Dr. Pandey also. I think the good practices he was telling about the good practices of a lot of food also, how to take meal, what to take and what not to take. Tamasic and sattvic food, I think he was trying to explain that we should always need to take a sattvic, not the tamasic food, because whatever you eat, that will have an impact on your brain, your mental status. And it is very important to have good food, healthy food in a sufficient amount to make your mental health more stable. And we always say that the small and the frequent meals of healthy food is always beneficial for our health.
What do you both think about fasting? Because it's often been recommended to me to fast for periods of time.
So according to me, if I see scientifically, so if I see your digestive system, digestive tracts, we have a lot of mucus layer inside. And whenever we fast, we are going to degenerate our mucous membrane inside. There's the more chances of acidity. So I won't recommend for long fasting. Yes, you can have 8-hour fasting during night. So after dark, please don't take anything, and after you can sunrise, you can have something. So whole night fasting is a good thing, but during the daytime, because you are not sleeping at that time, and if you can take something after 2-3 hours in a small quantity, that is a good thing. So that can revive your mucous membrane inside, and that will neutralize your acidity also in the stomach.
Yeah, because I've been in part of my different practices. Many of them that practice day-long, many days of fasting, and I've always resisted that because for some reason it didn't resonate with me as a good practice. And so I like what you're saying is to fast at night, don't eat after dark, and to eat small meals regularly. That seems to work for me better.
Yeah, so intermittent fasting is better than the long fasting, I think, because when we deprive any of our organ from their own function, so suppose if we don't do exercises, our muscles are going to be atrophied. So if we'll not eat, our mucous membrane will also atrophy. So whatever the things are made to do the things, the functions, if we are depriving all those organs from their function, I don't think that is a good idea. So if we can provide some food after some times, that is small and the frequent meals, that is a good idea. And keep yourself hydrated. That is also a very good idea. So hydration plus small and frequent meals, I think it's a wonderful technique, wonderful practices.
Hydration.
Yeah, that's good. So the color of the small meal also matters. So even the one pack of the wine is not good. You can have the small quantity of the lemon water or something else.
I have I don't know if you can see it, but I have basil in it.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, basil is very good. Basil is very good. Yeah, it's a good herb.
So what I was. So Dr. Sagu, what I wanted to know that as Dr. Pandey said that whenever they prescribe any medicine to the patient, they take the history, and the history also contains that whether the patient is from a hilly area or a desert area or I mean wherever he links basically, because based on that they offer them medicines. Do we follow the same practice in allopathy?
Regarding COVID?
No, generally, I mean that's what the general remark. Yeah.
No, we don't follow all those principles in allopathy. So we need to treat according to the disease. So according to the allopathy, it doesn't matter whether the patient is from hilly area or from patients from the plains. I think same type of medicine, or based on some symptoms also, we usually change the medicine, and accordingly we treat the patients.
Okay. And also, sir, when we talk about fasting, then everyone suggests us that if we have an early early dinner, we are automatically doing a fasting of like 10-12 hours, because if you
so
take
that
an early dinner around
is,
7 o'clock, and then your next meal would be at around maybe a cup of coffee or tea, whatever it is, at early morning. So that automatically is going 10-12 hours.
So that is why the first meal of the day is always called as breakfast. So we are going to break the fast. So yes, 8 to 10 hours fasting at night is good, but even then you can have some sort of fruit or salads at maybe at 9 o'clock or 9:30. It's good to have fruits and salads at night, but yes, carbohydrate should not be taken after the dark.
Okay.
It's funny in New Zealand. When I went to New Zealand, I was puzzled because they referred to dinner as tea, and I found that most of them took food at 6 o'clock and then nothing after that. And that was very interesting because it's extreme climate there, and well, not as extreme as Scandinavia or maybe Siberia, but it's pretty extreme.
Yes,
and
Rakesh, I mean, it's a good practice to have a dinner early, but it should not be so early that your focus should be on the volume. So when you know that I would be taking the dinner at 6 o'clock in the morning, I would be taking the next meal. You can think of the amount of the meal you are going to consume. So maybe you will consume more as compared to when you take dinner slightly later. Yeah. So we should be focusing mainly on the volume. As Dr. Pandey said, that 50% of the stomach should be full of the meal, and 25% maybe water, and 25% maybe air. He mentioned. So that is a good practice. At least we should fill our stomach 50%, not more than that. So again, we can have you can have your next meal after 3-4 hours. That is not a problem. But at that time, you should be keeping in mind that the meal should not be having carbohydrate, and that should be not be having the simple carbohydrate. Complex carbohydrate, yes, you can have a bit of complex carbohydrate, but not the simple carbohydrate. So you should be focusing main on the contents and the volume or the quantity of the meal, not on that you should take a 6 o'clock and then whole night you don't take, and in the morning when you get your breakfast, and that should be very heavy. I don't think that is a good practice.
And my question would be, if I'm having sugars at night, like, the fruit kind of sugar is not as bad as the sugar you might put in your coffee or tea.
Yeah,
that's correct. So, but is the fruit, is eating a fruit, is that a complex carbohydrate?
Yeah, so that is fruits carbohydrate is a natural carbohydrate, is a complex carbohydrate. So the carbohydrate which is there in the fruits, they have you can say the low glycemic index. So whenever you take sugars with a low glycemic index, so what does it mean by the glycemic index is when you take carbohydrate, and then the carbohydrate is being absorbed very, very fast from your digestive tract, and it reaches into the blood very fast. So when it reaches into the blood very fast, it will give the sudden surge of the insulin from the spike of the insulin very early, and that may cause hypoglycemia also at night.
But it affects your mood.
Yeah, so
people get a mood boost.
So that is that is why whenever you eat fruits, you can slowly digest that fruit's sugar till morning. But if you have taken the chocolates, I think after 1 hour of eating of chocolate, you need another chocolate, because the sugar has been absorbed very, very fast, and again it has given a sudden peak of that insulin, and because of the peak of the insulin, there is a sudden hypoglycemia, and you feel hungry again. So this is these simple sugars consist which is there in your chocolates, in your sweets and desserts. So they give rise to the hypoglycemia. That is why they increase your hunger. But the sugar in the fruits, that will not increase your hunger. That will keep your blood level sugar sustained till morning. So you can absorb till morning very nicely. You can get enough calories till morning from the sugars which are present in the fruits.
Is that true of dark chocolate and versus milk chocolate? Is dark chocolate, does it still provide a lot of okay?
That's a great question.
Dark chocolate have moreover cardiac protective factors. So if you want to select a chocolate, then the dark chocolate is beneficial.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you very much, because I love chocolate.
I want to know.
You can have a Belgian chocolate. Yeah, Belgian chocolates, they are good. Yeah.
You just made Lynn and my day.
Because when I was in Belgium, I used to take those Belgian chocolates.
But Dr. Pandey, can we make an Ayurvedic chocolate, maybe a dark chocolate with a combination of some herbs? Is it possible?
Yeah. Certain people have made, you see the Chyawanprash, what we are giving the Chyawanprash, that also you can solidify by adding some carbohydrates in that basis. It can be.
Okay.
So that it doesn't lose its property, as well as you get the taste of the chocolate also.
Yeah.
Can be.
Because if we combine two good things together, I think we have a different flavor, and people might enjoy it basically.
But certain things, it becomes worse, because like in Ayurveda, for cold and all, we say dhupna, that is steaming. Like last time I told you ki the turmeric and ginger is powder crushed together and with mixing with ghee, and a cigarette type of thing is made, and you burn it and take the steam.
Right in your nose, not your mouth.
Yeah, but that relieves your cold and nasal block. But similarly, people are having excuses ki it's smoking is allowed, so we can smoke. So that is not compatible. यहाँ पे chocolate में तो you don't lose the quality. You can maintain that.
And I would like to know one more thing. I mean, lot of people now watch a lot of YouTube videos, and they have a lot of combination of things, and some combination while eating or while drinking, they create some kind of chemical reaction, and that happens with a mint and a Coke as well. So, do you know any other chemical reaction happened if you combine or if you eat both the things together?
See, lactic acid, the milk products with sour things cause a problem.
Okay.
Like if you take lemon as well as the milk products, yeah, kheer khake you take nibu, that causes problem.
Okay.
And if you take jackfruit and then you take curd, yeah, milk, that is a problem. These are certain combinations and incompatible combinations explained in our text, which we have been seeing the results also when patient takes.
Virodha ahar,
exactly.
Virodha
ahar. Adhyashana, these are the things which is. But अच्छा लगा आपके मुंह से विरुद्धाहार सुन के.
But if you take a cucumber and you make it a pickle, is that still got any benefit to it, or is that a bad thing to do to a cucumber? To pickle it.
And see, whenever you take food at night, after your food, at least after 1 hour only, you should sleep. That should be always a thumb rule. आप 6 बजे 7 बजे खा लो, लेकिन जब भी खाएंगे उसके खाने के 1 घंटे बाद ही सोना चाहिए, उससे पहले नहीं, not before that. So that gives you better digestion and assimilation.
And also make sure, Dr. Pandey, that after we eat the food, we cross legs and make sure that we digest our food as well.
The rule is first you lie down your left side. First you lie down your left side, then you can straight. And at last, while sleeping, before sleeping, we call it as anupana, ushna jala. That is warm water can be drunk. That warm water can be just by boiling. Nowadays, you need ginger. Yes. Put ginger and boil it. That water can be taken at last. So always the warm water is good. It's a laxative also and carminative both. It helps. And similarly, yes, sir.
I was just going to ask, why is sleeping on your left side better than sleeping on your right side?
So that is when we just to get the passage of the stomach entry. That's what. Anatomically, the structure is the cardiac orifice is tilted towards is so. That is what scientifically that's what.
Well, Dr. Pandey, I have heard on many doctors tell me that cinnamon is a good spice.
Yeah.
And so what we do in the United States is we eat cinnamon candy. So we're killing. So it's
cinnamon candy when you take when you add sweet to the cinnamon,
that
property is lost.
Yes, exactly.
How about cinnamon water? Because we put cinnamon in our water.
Good. That is good. You can boil. So cinnamon, ginger, black pepper, tulsi, or even you can add this giloy, that Tinospora cordifolia, giloy.
Okay.
Any 4 combinations, 3 or 4. Don't complicate too much. That's what last time I told you. When you talk about kawas, only 3-4 items are enough. Now, our product is coming. Mostly we may get it on next coming Wednesday. I'll let you know when it comes.
Okay.
So every pharmacy have been given this thing told by Ayush Ministry to make combinations at least not more than 4, and have it Ayush Kwatha Churnam. It's common term given like that. So that is good for good combinative, antiseptic, anti-inflammatory as well as.
And also, Dr. Pandey and Dr. Sadhu, I would like to know about the milk as well. There are a lot of milk products which we take, and but a lot of time we don't know whether that milk is a cow milk or a buffalo milk or a goat milk. So, what do you think? I mean, which milk is good to have it for digestion?
You want to take Dr. Pandey?
नहीं आप बताइए.
अच्छा, Ankit, the thing is that I think cow's milk is the best milk among all these, because the goat's milk has lot of cholesterol, and for certain things goat's milk is good, but that has to be consumed in a very small quantity.
Yes.
Like dengue and all these things, they said that the goat's milk is good because it has some sort of antibacterial or some antibodies. So for certain conditions, I think the goat's milk is maybe good, because I mean I don't have enough data to prove that. But yes, cow's milk is the best milk among all these three milk, because it is easily digestible. You can digest it very easily. Buffalo's milk is also good, but slightly it is the cholesterol is on the higher side. So if
Fattening.
we are talking, if we are talking about the healthy diet, then definitely cow's milk would be preferable.
Okay,
So-
but I can't have
And
cow's
also,
milk.
sir,
I'm allergic to the casein protein, so I can't have cow's milk. So I'm looking for
Yes.
alternatives that, and I have sheep's milk, I have oat milk, and I have milk made from peas, the plant peas. And so these are the milks that I consume regularly, because cow's milk is just, I can't eat, I can't digest it.
Yeah. You can have any sort of milk, which should be, at least it should be skimmed. The skimmed
Yes.
milk is good. Maybe it's from sheep or from any source.
and I
But
think
the raw milk from sheep or the goat, that is not good for
Right.
the
Yeah,
cardiac
exactly.
purposes.
Right.
and
I'll-
also,
I'll-
I think, yes, sir.
So, anyway, cow's milk is the best one, and rather I will not suggest you, sir, especially the goat's milk, because goat's milk is very heavy, and the sportsmen,
Yeah.
at least who are having labor, doing a lot of labor and burning the calories, they need to take. Such
Okay.
people, it is good,
Oh,
That
but
milk.
not
they
others.
can
And buffalo
they
milk
can
is also
digest
very
it
fatty.
nicely. Yeah.
Buffalo
They can
milk also, it is told very clearly, Mahishi Kshiram Swapna Jananam. Like if you take buffalo milk,
Oh, I
और भैंस
live.
की तरह ही सोते रहेंगे,
Oh, I live.
ड्राउसी पी लोगा, ऐसा होता है. It happens.
Here we have
But
a
on
lot
the
of different.
but
Go ahead.
sorry.
No, I was going to say we have a lot of different milks that are almond milk and
That's what I was about to say.
almond and cashew milk.
Yeah,
Um,
you can have your own almond milk at home as well. You can create your own almond milk
Well,
at
how
home.
do how do they compare? How do they compare to goat's milk or to cow's milk?
No, I mean, actually, what we do, we take a cow milk and then we put some almonds over there and we make it almond milk. So always the almond milk is always better than the plain cow's milk. If you have almond milk, that is good, because some quantity of the almonds are always good to have in your healthy food.
But I'm also thinking that since I cannot have cow's milk, I must have a better alternative. The healthiest alternative, I don't drink goat's milk, but I have to drink.
I think, Jim, you can try a soya milk and you can try an almond milk, and you can have that milk at home as well. You just have to take some almonds and dip it in the water and remove those peel, and then again grind it in or churn it basically, and then you just have to filter it out and your milk is ready.
Yeah. So not only that, you can take cashew milk also. Cashew milk, soya milk can be taken. It is good.
And if you make your milk at home, that's perfect, because if you take it from outside, they might have add a lot of other factors as well. And same goes with soya. So milk is something basically you can create milk of anything. You just have to dry it and make sure you churn it well, and then you just have to squeeze it maybe or churn it in your mixer or something like that, grind it, and then just use it.
Yeah.
That sounds like work.
But you have to use that milk or consume it within a day or so, because you can't keep it for like 5 days or 10 days.
Okay.
No, not more than 2 days. Second day it becomes sour.
Yeah. So it should be consumed within 24 hours.
So if
nowadays people who are becoming vegan, who are becoming more vegan, so they are doing this only. Soya milk or cashew milk or this almond, these all are used.
But my question was that if we take, because apart from milk, we take a lot of other dairy products, like we have cheese, butter, and paneer and all those stuff. So do you think that we should go for cow milk or buffalo milk or goat milk using all those cheese related stuff? That is what I want.
Firstly, I will rule out cheese, butter, and I'll rule out. Butter is of course okay, fresh butter, but cheese and all should be avoided in any thing. At least in this COVID period, lockdown period, you should not take it. It is fattening, and you are not able to burn that. This thing, milk still it's okay, but not cheese.
Not
So Jim,
cheese.
you have some question?
Why? I have a question, Dr. Pandey. Why the
Yes, sir.
cheese is not good in this COVID time? I don't think so. Cheese has anything
So calorie
which
content
cannot be
ज़्यादा होके heavy
digested.
हो जाता है sir. It becomes heavy, इसलिए and fattening
नहीं,
होता
पर इसका प्रोटीन कंटेंट तो ज्यादा है. कोलेस्ट्रॉल नहीं होता पनीर में ज्यादा.
है. हाँ नहीं
पनीर
फिर भी
has
वो
good amount of
fats
protein.
होता है ना. It increases.
So
I think it's more about digestion basically. It's difficult to digest cheese as compared to other things. That's what Dr. Pandey is recommending.
Fresh paneer
Yeah.
can be taken. You can prepare paneer at home. Instead of milk, you make
Okay.
paneer of that. That is very good. Daily
But,
you prepare.
Jim and, but Dr. Pandey, Jim and Lynn, they don't know about paneer. They know about cheese only.
नहीं, ठीक. अब उनकी प्रैक्टिस देखिए उसमें वो बता रहे हैं उसमें I'll not say कि no क्यों पता है हमारे आयुर्वेद में वही देश काल जो फैक्टर आता है ना देश का तो जैसे वो जो वेस्टर्न कंट्रीज वाले होंगे उनके लिए वो साथ में होता है फॉर देयर बॉडी इज यूज्ड टू दैट बचपन से वो लोग लेते रहे तो उनके लिए दिक्कत नहीं होना चाहिए देयर मे नॉट हैव मच प्रॉब्लम बट वेयरएस वी इन आवर इंडियन दिस सिस्टम में वो थोड़ा प्रॉब्लम होता है.
I see.
That's why
Okay.
हाँ.
So let me go.
maybe-
Can I go
Yeah.
back to the because if I understood what Dr. Segu said, is cashew and almond milk, is that also made with cow's milk, or is it or I didn't think it contained any cow's milk. It's just it's been, I guess, pasteurized so that you can keep it longer than 2 days, which is what Dr. Pandey is saying. If you make it at home, you can't keep it for more than 2 days. But yeah, so okay,
Yeah.
because otherwise I got to go down to my refrigerator and throw stuff out.
So basically, so Lynn, Dr. Saku is saying that if you take a glass hot water, hot milk of cow or buffalo, you can add some dry fruits like almond and cashew, and then you can consume it. That's a different thing.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
almond milk
we
it's a different milk altogether.
Len, it can be a dry fruit shake, you can say.
Yeah, it's kind of a dry fruit shake. Yeah,
Okay.
and you can add some saffrons as well.
Okay, thank
And
you,
mainly
Ankit, Len, Jim, and Dr. Pandey. Thank you so much. I will take leave you.
So should we see you tomorrow on your
So good to see you again.
talk show?
Yeah. Tomorrow I'll see you.
Okay,
So just
then.
one point I'll tell you. One point. That is why the milk is not being safer nowadays is the cattle, the cows and buffaloes are the roaming in the streets. And the feed what they're taking is not the actual proper feed what they are getting.
Right.
That is why the milk is
Okay.
not appreciable also.
Okay.
That is
Okay.
also a reason.
Very interesting point.
Right.
But
So I may also take leave.
Dr.
Okay.
Pandey, what about the packed milk? The packaged milk like Amul and all those stuff. I mean, is that also contagious of all these things?
नहीं ठीक है but not as the natural one. It is not good as the natural one. Yeah.
That's always the
जो
case.
जो fresh milk में है वो उसमें नहीं होगा बिल्कुल नहीं.
Yes. No, obviously, definitely. But it's difficult to get fresh milk. That is the problem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Okay, then
Jim, Jim, are you allergic to goat's milk too?
No, I have the allergy is to a milk protein, casein, and I cannot have any goat milk. I mean, cow's milk, but all the others I can have, goat, sheep. It's not a problem for me. So I have sheep cheese, and that's my delicacy for a treat. And I can have all sorts of other types of milk, but my vegan goddaughter was scolding me that because I had almond milk, and she says almonds are not sustainable; they're water intensive, so don't drink almond milk.
Okay, so thank you.
You must
Thank
give.
you.
Okay. Thank you so much for all your information.
Yeah.
That was wonderful.
Thank you, Dr. Pandey. So Jim, I just looked it up, and I do notice that they have goats in the Socialist Republic of Northern California.